a little hotter today. Good morning. Heading to the post office. Scan sheet says I got 45 items, 36 ground, 7 medium mail, 2 priority. I need to go get some more music sheets so I can get those media mail back up. Still real inconsistent on eBay. I suddenly started getting offers yesterday, counter offers, emails, and then it stops. It's just like I had one in almost a week. It was like the only time I got an order, it was like ching ching, like a purchase. I turned off all my sales. I got a coupon running for 10%. I turned down my, first time I've done this in a while, but I turned down my promotions to 12%. And I'm just gonna let my listings marinate. It's frustrating. You work your butt off, and you're just not. There's no consistency. And obviously I'm not the only person complaining. You can go on pretty much anywhere on YouTube that's a seller that's, you can see the complaints in their tabs, their thumbnails, and some more than others, but even the ones that are real positive are starting to, I just don't want to be that type of person. I don't want to be always complaining and griping about the platform I chose to sell on. I'm in bed now, but with eBay, but I know it doesn't have to be forever. So we got 2 weeks to the next fourth quarter earning call. I'm gonna try to find where I can listen to it live. I think it's gonna be an eye opener for the VPs there. I'm not rooting against them, but it might be the only way we can get some. At this point, I'm thinking we deserve some. What's the word I'm looking for? Compensation? A litigation? All sorts of different words I can use. Because if the government's suing eBay, they got to be aware of what's going on with the sellers. I mean, when they're not sending in their fourth quarter tax checks to IRS because they're not making enough to pay taxes. That's weird. There has to be something. They got to be aware with all the YouTubers and all the posts on the internet complaining about eBay, what's going on. It just can't just. They can't just not know. We don't, obviously they're a business, but there's some ethical issues and questions. Knowing platforms messed up and just continue to drain us to the point where, where am I? I'm already going to food banks. And I've already cut $400 off my grocery bill. I'm already going to churches to get food. I'm already making major changes in my life just to get through this. So I appreciate you guys. There's only a few of you, and the ones that just subscribe, it makes me feel good, and especially the ones that watch it early and quickly. Even if I get 10 views, I'm still pretty stoked about that. I appreciate that very much. It makes me feel good. Anyway, if I come up with something to think about, I'll split it, bring it in. All right, got my card out. One trip into the post office, and I'm ready to head out. I'm glad to have that card out. It has been a while since I've used it, over a month or so. Hopefully eBay keeps going. I'm gonna try to head down to the beach, clear my head before I start. Oh, and I got a doctor's appointment. Having some more, what do they call it, pre-cancer items removed. It's the second appointment. That's what happens when you play in the sun all your life for many years. And then, anyway, I was listening to Kevin Commonwealth, and he's talking about how he notices big spurts of time with nothing, and then suddenly it just rains on his offers and sales, and the inconsistency. It's and that's been happening for a while, and especially the type of items I sell. This is like, it all happens in a 3-4 hour window, and then it just stops. That's a rotation for sellers to all get their, it's almost like it feels like a controlled thing to me, where they want to make sure that everybody's getting their what do you call it? Your allotment, or it's like, if they're going to make updates to the site, they got to have control of the sales, because if they have ability to turn that button on, and then you suddenly get sales because you're down 30%, and it's weird. It's like, when I have these big spikes of traffic and sales, I'll tell my girlfriend, or my friend, well, I'll be off. I won't have much the next 2 days, and I'll call it, and boom, nothing. Or not. I'm always selling something, but it's not nothing. But it feels like it's nothing. So I really think if it was done in design of the updates to control the amount of sales that sellers are getting, so they're able to, because they knew they were going to screw up the site, to get it to the point where they can make money, and then they can maybe leave the button on. I don't know. I know there was a huge lot of new sellers jump on board in the last 2 years, after COVID and during COVID. I know there was a lot of inventory online that was just sitting and not selling. So there's reasons why they would change the algorithm, and hopefully it's changed to pass out the cells in a way that it correlates when they're fixing their servers or changing their code or whatever they're doing, because there's windows of nothing, and then suddenly it's almost like, when someone on YouTube has sales in like Missouri, St. Louis, I know I'm next, like a day later I'll have sales. Like, we're not on the same server, or we're not on the same whatever scale that they use to drip sales, but it's starting to become a pattern, and I read patterns. I mean, I did that with SEO, and trying to solve issues with customers and my partner, and we would come up with ideas, and you could see the patterns, you could feel them, and really in tune to when leads weren't coming in, and when they used to come in and now they're not. Well, there's something wrong, Well, I consider product orders are like leads. for a customer. Well, I'm the customer now, and when they don't come in, I can feel it. You can feel it. You can know when, well, I'm off. You can see it in the numbers. Like the last 2 weeks, the last update, they had a lot of issues. I mean, it took a while for it to bounce back, and even now it's, I mean, I'm just starting to creep up on $1,000 this week in sales, but that's gross. That's not earnings, you know. Last fourth quarter, I was making $10,000 a month. Now I'm barely making half of that. I mean, they really did a number here. If you know, like I said, is you can say, oh, you can talk about the management, but until the stock starts changing and the stockholders that have the majority see that there's a problem, nothing's going to happen. Because nothing I do is going to make that change. I mean, I can make these videos every day and it ain't going to change anything. You know, if anything, I shouldn't be making them for resellers. I should be sending them to news organizations and newspapers and giving them a list of all the sellers that are having problems from YouTube. And you know, if these guys are having these kind of problems, imagine the ones that don't do YouTube. You know, that's how you would make a change, is target news broadcast companies that would pick up the story and start showing it on their local news. But I'm really at the ends. I mean, I think I figured out my traffic deal, but I haven't been able to figure out the 8-hour blocks or 9-hour blocks of nothing. No offers, no send offers, no emails from customers, nothing. It's just a black hole. And who said that earlier today? That would be James and Boring Resellers Life. But it's like a black hole, you know. It's like, it's just nothing. It's your listings aren't being shown, and no one's going to show this. Contact you. Well, that's, you know. And when you wake up and there's 15 offers to send out, well, that day is going to be different. So it's just really sad. You know, I haven't changed platforms. I'm doubling down on eBay, thinking they can straighten it out. I'm okay with pay to play, but if you're gonna do that, make sure it's consistent. You know, if I'm now only gonna give them 12% and just let, you know, I'm gonna see where it rises. I'm gonna see what I'm not offering sales too often anymore. Moving forward through the fourth quarter, I gotta maximize this money that's coming in, because winter comes around next year, it slows down in February. I was close to having to get a job, go back to work, and that has never happened. And for a long, you know, for a period of time where I'm starting to consider that. So I know this video is long, but I just needed a vent. I feel like it's starting to boil up again. You know, I go into spurts of like research and what works and what's not working, and I got tons of tests happening that I haven't been talking about. I did one last thing. I did sell a political bumper sticker for senator, and I was all stoked because I got pretty good money for it. And then I realized I underpriced it because it was signed by the senator. And man, I didn't put it in the listings, and that's a mistake on me. That should have been a $25 or $30 item, and I didn't get that. But anyway, I'm gonna be heading to Pahrump, Nevada. I got about 45 items on my watch list, and I'm gonna drop about $500-600 in this auction. Just I need to get some of this stuff that I know has good sell-through rate, or at least the type of things I like selling that works in my store. and some paper, some autographs, some glass. It's worth my trip. I get a good write-off for the mileage. It's like 300-400 miles, and I think it's a little bit more than like 500 round trip. Not exactly. I haven't done it in 8 months, but this one's the first time that I'm now committing, because I see there's some real good sell-through rate stuff items coming up. So, all right, I'm gonna get to the beach. I might show some of the videos of the waves. You guys, if I don't come back on, you have a great day. And if you see some of the videos of the ocean, it's because I'm using them for B-roll footage to break up this video. You guys have a great day. Like, subscribe. Thanks for following, the ones that are following, and I'll hopefully see you guys soon.